You already know what this is, man. It's your boy, Mr. McKinney. We back on the Love Talk. Introduce yourself. Let them know who you are.
Hi, my name is Nicole. You know, darling Nikki, all that. Y'all know me out there. Y'all know me out there. It's your girl Nicole here, sitting in on the Love Talk.
Yeah. Let them know what you do, so that way they can know, what we gonna be talking about today.
So right now, currently, I am a life coach. I run Shift and Grow Wellness and Life Coaching, LLC. So, getting people through their goals and paths and things like that. And I'm also a therapist in training. I'll be
Sound
finished.
funny.
Yeah, I'll be finished in training in December. So then I will be a full-time pre-licensed therapist.
That's dope. That's dope. Do you think that there is is it, not to jump into the question.
Okay.
You might like that.
I'm ready. Let's get it.
Life coaching and therapy, is there, what really creates like the difference between them, would you say?
So the difference, and that's a good question because people don't know. So the difference between life coaching and therapy is life coaches focus in the moment, right?
Okay.
What do you want to do right now? Like, what's the goal? Like, this is your podcast, all right, where do you want to take it? What do you want to do? Like, I help you get steps to find that goal and find that path for your present that will help you maneuver through the future.
Okay.
Therapy. So life coaching is clarity, positive psychology.
Like what you're doing in the moment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Therapy is more like your inner everything. What happened in your childhood that made you feel this way? Like we go all the way back. We do your dreams. Like, what are you dreaming about? Everything like your inner workings to get you through not only current situations, past dilemmas, trauma, anxiety, different things like that to move you to the future, to become better, to have a healthier life and regulate your nervous system.
Okay.
So therapy is more in depth. Life coaching is just like your accountability partner.
Gotcha,
hey, you got this. Let's do that. Or I got a vision for my career. Like, all right, so how do we take the steps to get there? Let's work on those steps and let's try to get there. Therapy is more your inner workings.
So therapy is like getting to like the root of it.
The root.
Yeah. So I guess in a sense, for people who's following, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, like therapy, you would do therapy, get to the root of everything, and then, life coaching can help you take the accountability to, be more successful. And
Well, you can have a therapist and a life coach.
At the same
So
time.
yes, at the same time. Life coaching is not making no accountability. Your therapist is doing the accountability.
Okay.
Your life coach, like I said, those goals in the moment, right? Building forks in the road for you, right?
Okay. Different avenues. to
Building
go
different
and see.
avenues,
Okay,
different
okay,
things you
okay.
want to see. Your therapist is like, okay, let's say you got a divorce. How did that divorce make you feel? And different things like that, where your life coach is like, hey, let's maneuver through this divorce. Let's get you there. Like I said, so it's more present,
Okay.
present based. So life coaches usually don't work on your past. They don't work on your inner or anything. Like I said, they're that accountability partner. Hey, I want to go to the gym. All right, so what things do you need to do to get to the gym?
So are both of them, in a sense, they're allowing the person to basically find their route. They're just guiding you in a sense. They're not like giving you.
Life coaches will give you.
Okay.
Therapists don't.
Okay.
Therapists will guide you. A life coach, I can give you answers as a life coach, right? For example, I had one girl in a coaching class because I do workshops. I had one woman in a workshop. Her goal was to go to Spain.
Okay.
She always wanted to go to Spain. You don't need a therapist to help you through going to Spain. It's like, all right, so what's been stopping you from going to Spain? Well, the time and the money. Okay, well, let's do a vision board, right? What money do you need? How much are the tickets for Spain? Hey, what your PTO looking like? How can you talk to your boss? How can you find a sitter? set a goal. What's the date that you want to go to Spain? Hey, I want to go to Spain. What's this month? July, I want to go to Spain by December. All right, how can we make that happen by December? And put those steps in place with you. And by December, it's like, hey, I'm going to Spain. And it's like, hey, the work we did helped you go to Spain. So I'm helping you see in the moment. You come to me as a therapist and say, I want to go to Spain. I'm going to be like, well, thanks, ching ching. Thanks for the dollar, because this is pointless. Now, if you went to Spain and you met a lover and you got pregnant and now you don't see him no more and you're feeling depressed about it and want to know why you took the action of going to Spain and having a one night stand, then
we get to the
therapist, right? Because then it's like, well, what made you have that one night stand, right? What was you craving? What was your body looking for? What made you do it unprotected, knowing that you wasn't going to be in Spain no more, right? Were you feeling loneliness? Was there a sense of absence? Those are the differences.
Okay. I get that. What do you think is like, for life coaching, what do you think is like the hardest thing for people to like really, like the hurdle for people to get over to actually, put action behind what they want to do?
People think they have time, right? When they don't. Life is really short. People also don't want to use life coaches because they want to feel like they have everything under control. And sometimes they think life coaches are therapists. They're not realizing that life coaches usually are in the realm of positive psychology. So they don't realize that. So they're like, well, this is stopping me. What's stopping you from going to the gym, right? I don't need to talk to somebody about what's stopping me from going to the gym. I know why I'm not going to the gym. Yeah. The life coach is basically your cheerleader in action. Right? You always got a cheerleader in your back pocket.
Give you that push.
A lot of times people don't go to life coaches because, honestly, a lot of times, like I said, life coach is in that moment. People want people to continue with them, right? If you do a life coach section and that's it, now you're home and you're like, all right, the life coach said do this and do that and do this and do that, but right. So in my life coaching business, I also have a component where I'll be an accountability partner, right? Hey, we'll do check-ins. I'll do check-ins to see how's that going. What else can we work on? Different things like that. Because think about with therapy, you're not seeing your therapist once.
Yeah.
When you come into your therapist is like, hey, you're going to see me for 45 minutes every week at this time on this same day. A lot of times life coaches is one and done. So I'm trying to get away with that by having the component of being an accountability partner.
Okay. How often would you say, because you said, most people might go once and that's it, but how often do you think people should continue with their life coach in order to like actually see that, get that push that they need?
I think it could be the same. I think it could be like weekly or bi-weekly, depending on if you have time. Usually life coach with the accountability partner, I could be available more. Right? But less time. You're not going to be talking to me all day about what's the next steps. Like I can give you 20 minutes, I can give you a wake up call in the morning. Like, hey, you up? Today is the day. Maybe you want to go to the gym today, but if not, that's fine too. But hey, I'm here to say I'm rooting for you, and here's your plan and here's your goal, if you want to see weekly, of course there's fees. So if you want to see a life coach weekly, that's cool. But the sessions will be like, it's not a continuous weekly, right? It'd be weekly for 6 weeks.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be your life coach forever, dog. You gotta fix something out. You gotta get something together. But that's the difference too with therapy. With therapy, you could be like, I had my therapist for 12 years, right?
Yeah.
I had my therapist for 12 years. I'm not gonna want you to see me once a week for 12 years because by then, you should work some stuff out. Like you don't gotta see me.
Yeah, so you might need
right.
I get that.
And if you gotta see me once a week for 12 years, then I'm not doing the right things, right?
So for I know people they can use therapy and they can use life coaches for like personal growth and things.
Personal growth, that's it.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you believe that sometimes we get into this this state where like I don't want to say it's too much personal growth, but do you feel like sometimes people might, take it overboard to the point where like they're not really focusing on life itself, just like I want to grow, but they're really missing out on life. Do you feel like that can be like a thing?
What does that look like though? What does somebody who is focusing on personal growth missing out on life? Like they're just focused on this growth. Because
Yeah,
by
I'd
that
say,
time
like,
you need a therapist now.
I feel like, for an example, like people sometimes, you know, I know a lot of people date with intention, right? But then sometimes you can just date just to, have fun and,
Yes.
live life. But
Yes.
some people are so like they're hyper focused on personal growth where they miss all of the little things in life because they're just, nah, I don't want to date right now because I'm focused on me. And,
And-
I feel like sometimes it could be, I think, like it could be just too much sometimes. Like we still have to enjoy life because, like you said, life is short.
Yeah. People can be too hyper focused on personal growth. Yes, but now from the therapy aspect, if I was a therapist, I would try to find out what's behind that. Right? What is making you hyper focused on life? Like what has happened where you feel like I can't enjoy these factors of life where I'm hyper focused. So you wouldn't really go to like a life coach on that. But even as a life coach, I would still ask, hey, what is making you hyper focused on this? But with the life coaching, I'm getting you to that goal. So you don't have to be hyper focused on it. Because it's like, all right, now that this goal is complete, you're done with
Yeah.
me as a life coach, right? We worked on this, we got through this, you accomplished it. What else? What else, right? But if you're hyper focused where you're not enjoying life and you're not living life, it's that's a trauma response. That's a fight or flight response.
That's a good
and
perspective.
and
Yeah.
and people don't think about it like that, right? I'm a woman that dates males. So a lot of times what you experience, and you get that from women a lot, right? I'm just focused on my career. I don't want to
Yes.
date. I don't want to date. I'm just focused on my career. Well, why is that? Well, this happened with this guy and this happened with that guy. And because I have a good career, I'm finding these guys and they don't like that I have a good career. So I'm just going to be focused on me and making my money and my career. Because maybe they was living with a guy and he wasn't paying the rent for years and they was paying the rent
Yeah.
for years. Or maybe they was living with a guy and he was, like it has to be a trauma response sometimes.
I get that. That's actually a good, example to use because, yeah, you hear that a lot. Where it's like, but still, it's hard to, because I do run into people like that, and it's hard to, say you can still live life and still focus on yourself. But I think a lot of us haven't found that balance as
Right.
to where we can do both. Because I think a lot of things, even if it's something physical you want to accomplish or it's messing with your mental, eventually it's going to start messing with your emotional, and I
Right.
think that's where like I can't do this no more because I feel like mental and emotional are two separate entities, but I think emotions may be stronger when it comes to like not accomplishing things and stuff like that.
So think about this. Your brain is made up of 3 components. Science, girl, right?
right.
The thinking brain, the emotional brain, and the survival brain.
Okay.
Sometimes your reptilian brain kicks in, which is your survival brain, and it cuts off that thinking portion of your brain. Because you've been through so many traumatic experiences that now your brain is constantly acting in survival panic. Survival panic. And what do you do when you panic? When you panic, you're like
Yeah.
hyper vigilant. So it's like, I don't have time for this. My nervous system and my brain is straight in panic and survival. So this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm focused on. Think about your brain being in survival mode and panic, and now you want to date.
Yeah. It's
And
not-
now you take me to dinner and my plate is like $300. And you gonna be like, this bitch, excuse my language, just made me spend $300 plate. Now I gotta work this and I gotta do that. And she just after me for my money and she don't want nothing else and blah, 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 blah. All of this is gonna start cycling in your brain. And you're gonna be like, I already went through this with the last one. I already went through this with this one and that one. And now she want me to take her to dinner and do this. I ain't doing this no more. Back to panic.
I hope y'all taking notes. That's a good perspective. to have.
Every guy thinks everyone is taking advantage, and every woman thinks everyone is taking advantage. We are all in this
Yes.
cycle of that.
It's that, we done dealt with so much in our past.
Right.
It's hard to like leave that back there and just focus on the present
Right.
to the future.
And that's where your therapist will come in, right? Because you need that vulnerability factor back, right? The life coaches discuss, say, hey, let's get out there and date. Maybe let's create a profile on one of the dating sites. Hey, let's make your profile good. Hey, some people came to you, but inner work. That's what I want people to think of. Therapy is inner work. Life coach is right here in the moment. How can we get you to this one particular goal that you want to get to?
I could say for men, I know it might be easier for women, but for men, when it comes to like vulnerability, just because the way our brains
You
are
want to be
wired,
so hard all the time.
it's a weird thing because even so, a lot of women may say like, yeah, I want a guy to be vulnerable, but then we also look at it in that aspect of if we're vulnerable, how can we show you that we're here to protect you, and
Right.
stand like this if we're, so it's like it's a weird space sometimes.
And that's where you have to get people's mind frame to change, right? Don't think about it as being vulnerable for someone else. Think about it as being vulnerable for yourself, right? That's how we're putting it in perspective, and that's where we're failing, right? I don't want her to see me vulnerable because that might mean I'm weak, or that might mean I'm not strong, or I can't physically protect her. You're being vulnerable for you, so you can break down your own walls and your own barriers, right? And when women say they need protecting as well, I had to explain this to another male friend. We don't mean physical protection. We mean we want to feel safe in your space. So if you're always angry and you're always hard and you're always raw, when I'm in your space, I don't feel safe and protected. I feel like, you're a monster. Like, I want to be soft. I want to be a female, right? I don't want to
be like
right. I don't want to be a thug with you. I don't want to be keep strapping up my Timbs and you hard and I'm hard and now we just hard together.
Yeah. That's a good perspective. That's it. Most men think of it as like, when we think of protection, we think of like, yeah, we got to be like this, but we're not thinking about it in the aspect of like,
emotions.
Yeah, that's a good.
I see your light bulb.
Yeah, because it's like it's a lot that I think we don't think about as a society, and just like men, we, like I said, we always carry our past with us, so it's hard to sometimes get up out of that. Do you feel like, especially nowadays, right? Do you think that it's okay to say things like, I'll be all right? A lot of people say that now, because before it used to be just like, maybe the men might say, but now it's like everybody's saying it. Like you ask somebody, how you doing? And everybody's just like, I'll be all right. I'm good. Do you think that that's I know in a sense it's a coping mechanism, but do you think that that's okay for people to do?
It is. It's actually a trauma response as well. You kind of don't want to feel like you're a burden on anyone. You don't want people to offer you unsolicited advice or help. Or you might feel like, I've put so much on people that or it's something that I'll get to myself, so I'll be all right. But one day, to somebody, you have to share with them like, yo, I'm not okay. Right? Yo, I'm not okay. Sometimes you have to say, I'm not all right. I don't care what space it's in, or who you're talking to, right? And then that's how you weed and seed out people, right? Because if you come to me and you be like, I'm not okay, and I'm like, well, my G, you'll be all right.
That's most people's response.
Right? Right? So if you say, I'm not all right, who can you say that to, and who can be vulnerable with you? And that doesn't mean, it could be male, it could be female. We all have this masculinity thing, right? Where a male feel like you can't tell another male, like, yo, I'm not okay. But if that's your peoples and they close, they should be able to talk to you about, you not being okay. Think about it. Now, I always talk about suicide, going back to therapy, because that is not life coach. In therapy, white males have the highest suicide rates,
Really?
right? Right under white males is black men. Y'all are like neck and neck with suicide rates.
Wow, I didn't know that.
The lowest suicide rates, the lowest of all races, is black women. Why? Because we always talking to people. We always on the phone like, girl, you won't believe what happened. We use community. We use our churches. We use friends. We use family, right? We always are constantly talking. I know, and I know you men look at that as that. Like, she always telling my business. But that's
She's
why.
not harboring it.
Right. That's our regulation, right?
Okay.
We're always talking to somebody about something that is going on and having them. What we don't know is we're having them help us work through what this is. And that could be life coaching and therapy too, step by step. If I'm telling my friend something step by step, my friend is actually helping me work through this thing unknowingly.
Subconsciously, you don't realize.
Self-consciously, right.
You don't realize what you're doing. That's actually a good point. So what advice would you give men to help them trying to, be more open in that vulnerable state and just let them know like it's all right to, speak?
I don't really know what advice to give them to open up, because there has to be a comfortability factor there. I can't be like, hey, y'all got to open up, and now here you go, got this man opening up to
people who's not even listening,
right?
That's true.
But definitely find that supported person, who you think you can open up to, and just be like, yo, this is what's going on, and I am not okay. Or crazy thing, men don't go to therapy. Believe it or not, the spike in therapy with men just started rising, and black men as well. A lot of times they feel there's no representation, of course. They're not relatable, the therapist. You don't want to be vulnerable. Y'all don't want people to be telling y'all what to do, but that could be your trusted source. Because as a therapist, I got to be non-biased. Like, I can't judge you. I can't make no crazy statements. I got to just be listening and helping you work through whatever it is you got going on. With males with therapy too, think about how men don't go to therapy, but think about the creation of therapy. Even in high school and college, when you learn about the creation of therapy, it's been all men. Women didn't create therapy. Your Sigmund Freud, your Carl Rogers, your Victor, the Frankl Victor. Yeah. Therapy was created by white males. From the beginning of the century on, women didn't start doing creation, about 1 or 2 women, like in the 1920s. Then after that, it wasn't any more women in therapy until like the 1960s. So therapy is male-based. And when they run testing, remember, there's still things they don't know about women. Our immune system, our reproductive system, right? Because all the testing was always done on men.
That's a good point. I don't think most people think about it like that. When we think of therapy, we think of like women. There's a lot.
It's a women thing.
Yeah. So we don't. It's not even something we would think about in that aspect. Let's check this commercial, and then we'll be right back. You already know, man. It's the Loft Talk. I hope y'all enjoying the episode. If you is, I just need y'all to do a few things for me. Like, share, subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube, man. I'm trying to get my YouTube up. So, even though it's fun to see these episodes on my other social media, just bring yourself over to the YouTube, man. We need a couple more subscribers over here, all right? So we're going to get back to this episode. I hope you're enjoying it. And it's the Loft Talk like always, man. And we back on the Loft Talk. We still talking about therapy. We still talking about life coaching. Let me ask you this question. Do you feel like nowadays social media has an influence on, the culture of like therapy? And because I feel like social media in a sense brings this this world that people want that may not be, obtainable to everybody else. And then I think that sort of spirals people down this depressive road because they see things that they really want, or they see people traveling and doing things that they, can't do in a moment. And I think that really like harbors emotions inside
Yes.
people.
So yes, one of the key factors in depression right now is comparison. All right. So social media does have a big aspect on that because, like they always say, social media, people just show you the good. Right. So like you said, you see people going on trips, you see people with fancy cars, you're not seeing the behind the scenes
Yep.
of it. So yes, you are becoming depressed over comparison. Also, social media, how it affects therapy and things like that, or even life coaching, is that it makes people want things instantly, right? Even from a therapist perspective or a life coach perspective, I want you to fix this now, right? Because social media, that's what you do. TikTok, right?
It's microwave.
Right. And I think because I got a lot of clients with ADHD and they always focus on social media. Why? Because the realms, they always coming up, right? The reels, I mean, they always coming up constant,
Short. Yeah.
and they're short. And that's the kind of gratification that our brain starts to look for. That instant gratification. I'm gonna use on dating sites, what I notice is that with men, if you don't respond right away, like they unmatch you or they block you. So they don't even give you a moment to like respond.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Because social media gives you that instant. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm doing good. Hey,
And they want
you
that
know,
on there.
and everybody wants that instant. So if I'm doing real bad, I'm down and bad, and I'm watching, a homegirl or a homeboy or a friend, and they always on vacation and they always on the go or different things like that. And I'm sitting there like, yo, I got this job. I'm always working. I'm not doing nothing. I want to go on vacation. Even relationship. Think about the relationship. I was just talking about Sacco and Dalton, right? That's a relationship that everybody looks at and they're like, wow, they got a great relationship. And now they going through stuff on social media and everybody's like, whoa.
Shock. Yeah.
We never know. I never take anybody's relationship seriously on social media.
Yeah.
To me, it's content.
It is.
It's content and it's entertainment. Nobody's relationship goals. No, not even that. You know how many people say, click the link below, I'll show you how to make $10,000. And right? And then when you click the link, it's like, just pay $89 and then I'll give you the answers.
The link to it. Yeah.
Think about if they have 1,000 followers that's all paying them $89 for something. Right? So I think it does have that it has that effect on people that they need an answer now. Right? They don't even have the attention span or base to sit and find the answer because they want it right now.
You made a good point too with like the dating apps, because most of them is like swiping. So it's like, you don't even really gotta go outside and meet people. You could just do this.
Right.
It's all instant.
No more
right?
human connection.
Yeah, and we definitely miss that. I not to jump off topic, so much, but I do have a friend where like, his kids were homeschooled, and I remember me and him having a conversation where I was asking him like, how do they get, that social life that I feel like kids need, because they don't really have that now. Everybody's stuck in their phones, so I feel like homeschooling, it can be good for people, but I do feel like as kids, we gotta like start really pushing them into that social corner, because nobody's talking nowadays,
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, we used to sit at the table and eat. There wasn't no phones and nothing like that. Like, now kids,
same.
they got their tablet at the table eating and shit. They're not even talking to people. Like,
And that too, believe it or not, is causing a lot of depression. A lot of benefits, but a lot of depression as well. Like you said, the homeschool and being in the tablets, or even when the parents take away the devices. It's like this kid is spiraling because they don't have a tablet or like, yo, this whole kid is spiraling. But even the homeschool causes so much depression, because traditionally homeschool is supposed to be like you get out and you learn. All the homeschool communities, you go to the library, you go to the museums, you go to the playground, where people are not even doing that now. They're just putting the kid, like you said, in front of the tablet, got the
And then
lessons there,
yes.
and now this kid ain't talking to nobody. The kid is in the house and on this tablet learning. So I get a lot of those. I don't get a lot of those in life coaching, but I get a lot of those kids in therapy. Like, parents, let your kids go outside. Like, let them.
Yeah, they need that.
They
Because even when they
need
go to the
it.
playground, they don't even know how to interact with
Right.
the other kids.
And that's what homeschooling is supposed to be, right? We go to like a nature park, right? And we talk about this turtle or this frog and different things like that. So it is becoming like a microwave society in that aspect. I mean, I get the scrolling too. Sometimes there's social media, your stuff is more interesting than what's on TV.
It is. No, it is. You could definitely, like, people found a way that they might tell their story on social media.
Right.
You start clicking up
Down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, you know, you got to figure out what happened at the end of the story. So I get it in that sense.
It also has, just a fun fact, it also has your screens, like your your phone and things like that, they have a blue light effect that doesn't let your brain trigger the nighttime. That's why people stay awake on the phones and the tablets and things scrolling, because it's some type of blue light in the technology
So you don't
that
even feel
mimics the
tired.
daytime.
Okay.
So you don't feel tired. So your circadian rhythm is messed up. It doesn't even feel like nighttime. And that's why a lot of times you get to scrolling and don't go to bed.
I better pay attention to that. So you got to, like, because I do have to do this sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'll be scrolling on my phone. I don't feel tired. I have to sit my phone down and force myself to go
Yeah.
to sleep because I've been up. Yo, that's, wow.
Take that time out for that self-care where you put that phone down. How they tell us, touch grass. Right? Get out there,
need
touch grass.
People need that. You know, sometimes even like nowadays, I hear people say self-care and they'll, you know, and I could, maybe this is a form of self-care, but they think of it as just like seclusion where they can be on their phones uninterrupted. And
Right.
They think that that's self-care. Me personally, I don't think that. But
Right. That keeps your brain going.
yeah, you know, but it's like you're not really indulging it to yourself. To me, you're
Right.
still, you know, preoccupying your brain with other things.
Right.
Like it's not.
Shift and grow. So if you hire me as a life coach, I can get you off that phone and we can focus on some other goals and move forward and push through that.
Now, I know we were speaking about like dating apps and stuff
Okay.
like that, right? Do you feel like, you know, because we're in a world of technology now and stuff like that, do you feel like dating apps help or hinder people from finding like real relationships?
I think they help, right? You can't put a stipulation how people meet people. So they definitely help. It gives you a wider range. You know, like, come on, like we live in a small town.
Yeah.
So besides going outside, if I'm on an app, I can meet people in different facilities, you know, like
Yeah.
upstate Albany,
and
down in the
stuff.
Bronx,
Yeah.
you know, even in Maryland or whatever. So I always say that it doesn't help how, you know, you meet people, but anything can become toxic, right? As
Yeah.
long as you're doing it with a balance. Everybody's not doing it for good intentions.
That's a fact.
And long as you're doing it with a balance, you know, people put so much stipulations on them. Like, if you don't meet me after 3 dates, this. If you don't do, like,
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my God, what is going on?
But do you feel like people, like, because you haven't seen them in person, do you feel like they need those type of stipulations where it's like, I'm not gonna
Keep talking to you.
for, you know, forever. So it's like, if
Come talk to see. But why are you talking to that person forever? See how I go back into that therapy and life coaching? Or why are you talking to that person for that long? What made you not want to meet them, right? You never know the reason or the theory but behind why some people do stuff. I watch a lot of ID channel. So let's say if I was or am on a dating site and I'm talking to somebody for a long time, I might be feeling them out. Like, is this person gonna kill me?
Yeah. That's
Are they gonna kidnap me? Is this gonna be safe? Right? I watch a lot of IGTV, which I had to cut down on too, because then I'm calculating everything.
yeah,
like,
it gives you a little bit
right,
of a
right,
paranoia,
right.
you know, in situations. But then I feel like you do need that because would you say like if you're talking to somebody on a dating app, is their profile right? If it's too good to be true, would you sort of see that as like a red flag?
Yes. Sometimes I was talking to somebody in my family the other day, and I said I love when guys say I'm not like other guys. And I always say in my head, you know, in Michael Jackson Thriller, he goes, I'm not like other guys. And she's like, of course not, Michael. That's why I love you. And then he turns into a whole werewolf, right? And then he goes from a werewolf to being a singing, dancing, crazy zombie and laughing at her like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's a good
saying?
point.
Like,
Yep.
no, you're not like other guys. You're the last samurai in video game of Monster Guys. You can just sing and dance.
It sounds nice, but-
It sounds
Yeah.
nice, right?
No, that's
So, and a lot of people are missing, and a lot of people are missing that intentions. I think people use it the wrong way, you know, because everybody is like, oh, I'm dating it with intention. I'm dating it with intention. But what is that?
what is the intention?
What is that? And that's where the therapy comes out of me. Like, what is the intention? Because the intention can't be just to get married, because everybody's intention is not that. So what are you being intentional with? Like, what are you looking for? Do you even know? Right? Do you know yourself in order to give yourself to somebody else? Right? How's your communication style? So when people say intentional, those are the type of things that I look at. Like, what are your stress factors? What is your communication style? Because some people's communication can be arguing. You wouldn't believe how many, even as a therapist, even as a life coach. I did life coaching networking a long time ago, and it was like, I can put you in a position of where you want to be. That was my slogan. I remember, and I was heavy in the media. I had a gentleman who wanted to make films, and he gave me his script. His script was good, his pitch was good, and everything. And he was like, I want DMX to be in it, and I want 50 Cent, and I'm like, hold on, brother. Like, you know, you just got a script. So then even when I put him in place, it was like, all right, so I got this seminar that you can go to, and Spike Lee is gonna be there. And it's like, and he's willing to look at your script, because that was my thing. I put you in the place that you need to be. Now, if I put you there, that's all I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you getting it. I'm saying I opened this door. What you do from this point is on you. And it was like, Spike is willing to look at your script. I don't know what comes out of that. I don't know about the agent. I don't know about this. And he's going to be at this seminar. And then he's like, what I need to go there for? I told you I'm going to DMX and 50 Cent in my movie, you know. And to me, it's like, well, you already paid me, brother. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you already paid for my ticket to get in, and my parking, and my this and that and this and that. And if you don't know why you're meeting in front of Spike Lee, then maybe this is not
for you.
For you. You see what I'm saying? So that's when you say, you know what, intention. Well, what is the intention? We got to be on the right path of intention. So,
like you said, everybody's intentions can be different.
Right.
Do you feel like
DMX and 50 Cent in his movie?
And some people, you know, I think some people feel like they want something, and I think that goes back to like the social media, right? Where some people feel like they want something, but the reality is you really don't want that.
Right.
You just see it, so you think you want it.
Right.
You know? So I think it goes back to that in a sense. Do you feel like people should, or is it good from your perspective, right, for people to sort of not dump, but give somebody a heads up of how they are as a person, good and bad, when they first meet somebody?
No.
Right?
No. Go ahead.
Because it's to me, right? I think that, and I had said this before, and people didn't agree with me. And, you know, it's okay, but I think that it's okay to hide, you know, certain things about yourself when you're meeting somebody.
Yes.
Because you want them to
Learn it.
Yeah, and it's people look at it like, no, you're being fake, you know, in the
not
beginning.
fake.
It's not. Yeah, you know, it's not.
And that's the problem. So instinct. Remember I said that?
Yes.
Instinct. You want to know. I want 5 kids and my mom is a prostitute and my dad died here. Like, right? I don't have to disclose all that information to you at first, which is another reason why I know we're into dating, which is another reason why dating feels so heavy, right? I'm always like, first dates, you hear women talk, you hear men talk, even on like, what's your credit score? Are you looking to buy a house? I remember having a guy, and this when I was dating a long time ago, who said that, like, well, what's your credit score? And I said, are you buying me a house? You know, and he got offended. Like, and I was like, yo, true story. Like, are you buying me a house? Cause we could go get this popping. Like, right now, like, what do you mean? What is my credit score? Because you want to know how people handle finances. Your first date should be fun. That's what people miss. Your first date should be fun. Okay.
Just feeling the energy.
Basic things. How many kids you got? You know, well, what do you do for a living? Oh, that's nice. And feeling energy and having fun. Not, why didn't you marry your baby mother? And where did your grandmother work, right? Yeah. Because think about this. The next day, I might not even like you. Now you got all this information about me and you don't even need it. Those first 3 dates should be not heavy, casual, and fun. Even if you're dating for intention. Why? First date, I'm dating with intention. I want to get married. I'm not gonna marry this man.
You don't even know. You haven't seen their temperament. Nothing.
Right?
Yeah,
and then even people talk about shifting into religion when they say, well, you're supposed to be married. Well, you're not marrying nobody off the rip. You're supposed to be taking time to get to know them, to see if you even want that person to be your spouse or your mate or whatever, right? We make everything so heavy. Guys too focused now on gold diggers, and women always want this and women always that. And it's like, but you don't have nothing to give. Like, so they take it like, if a woman expects you to pay for dinner or if they ask for a gift or something, now it spirals all down to
this is all she wants.
This is all she wants. This is all she wants. This is all she wants. Money. We're the only race of people. We're the only race, not of people, because we're only people out here, but we're the only species, I should say, where a lot of times males feel like they don't have to put in the work. All right? Think about animals. The prettiest peacocks are the men. Are the male peacocks, not the females. Why? Because the peacock, he got to spread them pretty feathers. He got to do his little dance and a little shake. You know what I'm saying? He got to.
A lot of animals do that.
The eagles got to go pick up the log and they got to fly up because she got to make sure that if something happens to her or the eagle babies, that he can lift her and he can take her up and carry her there. But in our species, somewhere it got like misconstrued on what's it supposed to be. Guys want to be chaste and like everybody say they want to be intentional or intentions, but are they good?
They never speak about the intentions itself.
Right.
They just use that word loosely now.
Right. Oh, I want to date. I'm dating with intention. Well, what is that for you? That's that therapy in me. You see how that went? What does intention? Here it is right here. It's like, oh, well, what does that intention look like for you? And what is the intention that you are looking for, right? You can't be expected to marry everybody.
That's a question that people got to ask themselves, though, before they even start dating, is what is your intention?
Right.
Don't just say the word because you know the word.
Listen, first couple of dates or something. So that's why I'm a serial... how you call it, like a serial relationship person. Like I'm always in relationships 10 years and 5 years and 4. Like I put in too many bids with you, man. I'm not putting in no more bids. I am done. I'm giving y'all 6 months. Not even these days. And it's because I'm not pressure. You see what I'm saying? Not like my standards are low. I am pressure in some ways. That's why the relationships don't last. But that first couple of months or so, I'm not pressure. I'm not like, So when we get married, you know, so
What
what we
are
doing?
we? Yeah.
So what are we? You know, like, yo, we still vibing, we still doing us. If we get in an argument, let's see how that works. Let's see how we argue. Cause
Yes.
I don't want to be arguing with you 6 months and you choking my ass out. You know what I'm saying? Sorry about that, but like,
no,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
then you don't know.
you choking me out, you punching me in my face, or different things like that, or you cussing my mama, you know, like, you know, you still getting to learn people. So we got to start taking certain things with, like, you know, a grain of salt. Get your therapist, talk about dating, and get your life coach. Let's
Do you feel like with relationships, right? Do you feel like there's a difference between settling and compromising?
Yes. Think about settling, and this is me putting on my therapeutic hat again. When you're settling in a relationship, it's out of your own insecurities. A lot of us stay in relationships with the wrong partner, not because we love them, because they help to feed our insecurities, right? Sometimes you're dating in your insecurities. What if, how, or what if they don't like me, or this person loves me with this mole on my back. Will the next person love me because I got this mole on my
That's a
back?
good
This
point.
person loves me, you know, I done had a job or not had a job, you know, my left eye is crooked, and you know what I'm saying? Like, or I'm a woman and I got 10 kids and 5 baby daddies, and this person still loves me. What if the next person doesn't love me? So you're willing to settle. And that's what settling is. You're settling out of your own insecurities, and people don't look at it like that. You know, what is it going to look like on social media? What if this relationship is a failure? I already put in all this time.